So there's a new DPR IAN video. It's called The Show, and I'm gonna watch it now. And I'm super excited because there has not been new footage, new videos, new music by DPR IAN in quite a while. And the new album is also about to be released, so I'm excited. Let's go, let's go. By the way, I have all of these egg accessories because it's Easter, so I thought I'd dress on theme. I don't know. There's a place where I often go not to disappear but to search deep below. This is like maladaptive dreaming. By the way, I will stop probably because I like to talk and I like to think things out loud. And if that annoys you, then maybe don't watch this video. And definitely watch the whole video afterwards because I will do that on loop for sure. Alright, but just so you're warned, I will stop when I will talk because I don't want to talk over the music and the art. You know, it needs to be experienced and then with auto commentary. Where the past returns to burn my soul, and each time I turn that fire into something whole. Oh, and poetry. What I go through most will never know, for sure, but I don't really mind, as long as you make it bad. Sounds like maladaptive daydreaming to me, because like, it can be tricky. Anyway, but this is about something else. Let's go. To the show. Welcome to the show. Is this a new character? Is this misunderstood? Ooh, it's giving burlesque, it's giving Wild West show. Ooh, he's on fire. And his hair matches her dress. Ooh, more women. Like a whole lot of bunch of people. Damn. Ooh, this reminds me of the Limbo one with the ravens and the umbrellas. This is giving superstar. I love this trick. This is really cute. Oh, it's giving emo. Emo and Beetle outfit, Mr. Pep. What's that name? Anyway. I love the hair. Okay. I love that you have this band from the recording on stage with him. Yeah. I love the emo side sweat. Why is she crying? On the toilet pod. Okay, there's a whole bunch of frames I need to stop. Is he referencing the song Welcome to the Show? Ooh, fur. Wait, what? Ooh, collaboration? Who's that? Smooth. Wait, is it totally switch up? This is like funky, smooth bass coming through. Well, is this like a mashup of songs? Is this like an interlude song who's like switching between different songs on the album? What's going on? There's so much going on. A lot of people. Damn, it's like mafia. Ooh, money shot, yeah. What? Why is this so short? Why is this so short? Oh, wait. Welcome to the show, but this time it's not black and white. Is this the same or a similar place than the Welcome to the Show one? Oh no, that Welcome to the Show was filmed in Korea, right? Right? Okay, I definitely loved it. The switch up was unexpected, but like, it's on point, like it makes sense. And I want to read what my friend actually wrote because she listened to the song before the video came out. The show feels like a long demo and sad, like an old diary entry. I didn't pay attention to the lyrics, so but kind of, yeah, I felt like some of them was like describing scenes like in a car driving, whatever, then like an introduction for something about to start right after, which is probably when the switch up happens, and then the DID kicked in and he channeled an indie rock funk spirit and should be in bell bottoms with shaggy hair and a skinny scarf around his neck, slapping the bass in the background of the club, smoking and flirting with groupies. Yeah, I can see that visual with the song, like I said, with like the funky bass that he tuned up, because he had that in other songs as well, and it's just really cool because like there's a distortion on it, and definitely cranked it up, and I could definitely see like the more indie roots to and rock pop influences, you know, that he wants to dive into with this new album, where it's back to who he is as a person, what he's been through, and what he's becoming, as opposed to the characters that were birthed from his mental health issues, journeys, and all of that, you know, like the Mido and the Mr. Insanity of it all. But this time it's all about him, which is interesting that he changed his hair color, if it's about him. We'll see as more discography and videography gets released, which I'm super excited about. And oh my gosh, let's just get into some of the frames. I'm sure there's a lot of references to Welcome to the Show, where he started in black and white, where he's just very sad and depressed and going onto the stage, and then the lights flare, and he's looking out into the empty scene, and now suddenly he has all of these people, and a lot of these people were with him for a lot of the time during tour, right? Like his band throughout different countries on different tour legs and different festivals, and then his dancers he always takes with him as well and flies into the different locations. And there's a bunch of people I don't recognize, but I think, is that her from Mirrorball from DPR Arctic, where she was dancing, and it's kind of colorful but it's still muted. You know, everyone is wearing like black and white with the red highlights, and the ballroom is also kind of red, but he made it like he pulled out more of the gold elements. And also I saw some friends were pointing out that that is a ballroom that also BTS had filmed in before. I forgot which video, because I'm not a BTS fan, so I forgot. Definitely feels like he's stepping into becoming the center of it all. This kind of feels very much like a painting, like a Baroque painting, where you can see he's framed in the light, and all of the hands are reaching for him, but he's not actually looking at it, because it seems like in limbo. He was facing the camera, and he was also framing his face with his own hands, showing his internal struggle, externalized, and here it is more turning away from it and maybe being on top of it, like he's almost outgrowing it, or he's almost gaining strength from it. So like it's not actually pulling him down, but he's building it up, the energy, the momentum. And there's all of these people who are looking at him in Cinderella moment style. Cinderella. And he's not really, like, I feel like he's very detached from everything. He's like on top of it, like I said, maybe just that confidence level of being, I'm a bad bitch, kind of amazing mafia boss vibes, where he's just so aloof and powerful that he doesn't have to crave the attention and demand the attention, because he's just naturally embodying it. And I know I didn't say anything about him being potentially a king, because there is a crown and it's in reach, but he never actually reaches for it, right? It's just this woman who reaches for it, and it's just floating at some point, but he's never wearing it. He's never really touching it. He doesn't have any kind of royal insignia or any scepters or any kind of fashion that infers a specific status. He's in fact dressed like everybody else, and they just happen to elevate him on this pedestal, and he's literally on a pedestal in the crowd when he's playing, and then he's on top of the stairs, and then everybody's like crouching down, pretending as if he's like higher up than everybody else, as if he's like this very special elevated person, just being picked, like, you know, celebrities are being picked by the crowd, by the fans, and just currently being the thing, the hits that is trending, but then they can also be easily dropped, right? And so I don't think he feels like a king here, or is in fact referencing the crown as being a king. He's also not covering his eyes that much. Is this true? Is that what Oh, and then look at her necklace. Is this like a bleeding heart reference again? There is often like the symbolism in the accessories kind of referring to the Christian influences and the overall mythology. This is totally giving all of the indie bands I grew up with, like into the 2000s and 2010s, the noughties, right? I don't know, My Chemical Romance, and is it? I can't think of the thing with the Sgt. Pepper with the Beatles, like the jackets, right? But like he got it in the colors of Mido. But the scenes, like I said, there's all of this orange golden glow, which we haven't really had that much before, other than like Scaredy Cat, which I guess is also about him because Mido is not the scaredy cat, he's the protector guy. So the smoke this time it's not coming out of his mouth, but like he is the hot shit on fire. Maybe also like the internal struggle externalized and burning in the glow of the light, you know, like Super Trooper, lights are gonna blind me kinda, oh my gosh. But she has all of the feathers and the fire that is so much associated with Mido and like the fighting and the burning scenes. And it's referencing like the scenes where Insanity fled in the Wild West town, probably. Because like it's like she's looking at the fire, so is she looking at him? Is he burning into flames? Like where's all the fire coming from? Is this like in reverse, where, you know, everybody's dancing and having a fun time, and then he's just like starting to smoke and then exploding, and that's where the fire comes from? Like where did the fire come from? But she's not scared, like she's not running away, she's just like sussing things out a little bit, unsure of how to proceed, and now she's reaching for it, which is like the typical pose, which like is always reaching into the sky. And she's reaching with the right hand. I wonder if that means something, because like then there he is just smoking, but he doesn't have all of the special effects, he doesn't have the feathers, he doesn't have the fire, so it's just like a reference of what he will become. And there's like the dichotomy of black and white, the struggle of like two rivals. I like the crooked candles. And it's cool that, you know, the white and the reds is bleeding into the black, where he is at the top, but then it's framed by his red hair, so it's like contained by the redness, by the fire. Like it starts with it and ends with it, and the rest, I don't know. Is this like a pile of coal, like a pile, burning pile, you know, when he was burned as a witch on the pile, like as Mr. Insanity? Is this like a future referencing, like foreshadowing, or I don't know, is he on coals? But also like this entire video, while there's a lot of fast pacing, he's just so slow and like intentional in his movements. Like he doesn't run around, he's not being chased, he's not chasing, he's not like being super anxious, or like he's just slow walking, powerful aura. It's crazy. That's different, you know what I mean? Like look, he's just strutting in, all chilled, all yeah. The crown, is that a reference to Sea Clown? Is it a reference to Insanity? And she also wears a cross. Interesting. So she reaches for it, and he's reaching for her. Is this like she has to decide between the crown or him? Does he want to stop her? Is this like Insanity's opening the box, almost like Pandora's box? But he is like very determined. He's not like scared that she's refusing the hand or choosing the crown. Focus, like this is an important decision. But I love it's like a halo, a little halo in front of the chandelier. Wait, so he was reaching his hand and then he was just, that's mean. I wish they would have hung something over the posters. Okay, never mind. But I love how you can see that it says the greatest destruction of my life. So probably the misunderstood person who's messed up both Milo and Ian, and then the other poster you can see where he's just being torn, like it's like multiple images layered but then torn to reveal underneath the black and white Milo. And I don't know, I don't see insanity there, but it just shows the DID and the different personas and alters that live within the same body. That's what I say. That's my interpretation of it. And like in all of the different hands and the other posters with the distraction show again the hand references where he's always like reaching for something, but also all of these other characters and people reach for him and they're trying to grab him. Like maybe they take him down, maybe they want to just push him around, maybe they want a piece of him, maybe they also help him be distracted, you know, like numb himself and his experience and all of the emotions. It could be any of that, but like it shows very visually the feeling of being torn. Okay, she's at his feet on his right side and he's like not paying attention to anybody but the camera, but he's almost still kind of blending in, just like other than his hair which stands out, but like he doesn't have a very flamboyant outfit unless he's on the stage. Okay, did you see the temp tattoo? I saw somebody on Instagram saying that was from a famous painting. Basically a similar story where he was just also flying too close to the sun. He was too close to the sun, so like he fell. Well, for this temporary tattoo, they actually added, I don't know, like a stick, a sword or something that like pierced through him. So it's not just you fall and that sucks, but like you're also being speared, which sucks double. You know, so like you're definitely dead. And I wonder what that means in the grand scheme of things. And also he just has a normal bow tie. Like there's nothing fancy, there's no special jewelry, there's no extra accessories like he usually has, the cross or like necklaces and chains and rings. Like this is very simplified. This is just the first reaction. I'll probably analyze the heck out of it, but I don't necessarily share that. This is just my first impression. And they're dancing around him, but they're not really interacting with him at all. You know, he's on stage and he's performing, but everybody is just using that as an entertainment. They're not actually paying much attention to him specifically. But this time it's almost reverent. It's not like they want to drag him, it's like they revere him. Which can also be before the fall, right? Like sometimes you have fans, they put you on a pedestal, and if you're not entirely perfect, they will knock you down, and then they drag you, and then you're cancelled or whatever. Being in the public eye is kind of lonely and kind of a tightrope walk, yeah, right? And it's interesting that they have this lens that kind of rounds the edges, as you can see. Like this has this kind of distortion, and it has a lens flare where it's really, you know, you can see the actual lighting, the practical lighting of the room that's already installed, but then you have like the extra lighting that they put up specifically to, you know, give accents, but also to shine on him and to really draw the attention to the center, which is where he is. And then you stack up the sky and the different lights where he's looking up to. Like he wants to go even higher and higher, and that might be his downfall, right? And he's not even reaching out here, he's just having hands in pockets. He's just considering like, do I belong in the Olympus? I don't know. I like the guitar strap. You see the confetti in front of his mouth? Now it looks like a devil. That's just me making this, stopping at a weird time. Also the confetti specifically is red and gold, like the scene. I love the details. So the white one is holding a black rose and the other one is holding a knife. I feel like the rose doesn't have thorns, so it's not a rose that would hurt you. So like it's a gift that is well intentioned, and the other one is treacherous, is maybe backstabber. And maybe that's again like what being in the show as an entertainer is like. You have all of these adorations where people just throw roses at you, or they could throw tomatoes, or, you know, hit you with hate and put a knife in you and make you fall from grace just by not being allowed to be a human, or being just perpetually scrutinized in such a way that, well, you can never do right by everybody anyway. But God, that's a problem with fame, right? So Not easy, not at all. Why is she crying? And why is he giving toilet? Does he want to give her more toilet paper because she's crying? Or is this like when you're an introvert and you just like want to escape from, I don't know, work or a party or whatever, and so you hide in the toilet because it feels like a safe space? He took off his jacket. Is that when he turns behind the scenes and now, like, looking at the biography, he was cast on the street basically to be then the leader of a K-pop group. That was a terrible time in his life, full of abuse, and like that didn't work out. So he also couldn't contractually perform anymore, and even under his own label and even with his own music. So he started making videos for other people and learned how to be a director and how to edit and how to concept all of it, which is why I love all of his videos because they're just so unique and there's just so much skill involved, and it's all self-taught, and that's amazing. And I want to be so good when I grow up. Anyway, so yeah, so like this is maybe to switch over to being behind the scenes and becoming a director and looking at all of the things a director needs to look at, like the lighting and all of that. And there's another temperature too. What is that? Is that like a Peter Pan? Is that a cloud? What is that? Is this a horse? I don't know. What's that? What's that supposed to read? Yeah. So the mirror is acting differently than she is. She's just holding it and the mirror is taking it down. So I guess this is where the personality split, the DID sets in, happens. Oh, is that what my friend meant when she's like, that's when the DID happens? I'm like, oh, that's, when you start to see reality differently, and that's when they pull out the rose and the knife, where you become your own worst enemy, but also could potentially be a protector. Like, it could be a backstabber, but it could also be protection. In front of the light, leading into the dark, coming from the dark up. She is smiling, kind of sadly, but it could also be a little bit mischievous. Yeah, it definitely feels like a trailer of a movie. Okay, people may be dying. Wait, his jacket changed color. It's now red, not silver. What is that triangle? Crosses. 3 crosses. Why 3? That's a cool corridor. Is that the bathroom corridor? Is that where the toilets are? Alright. Furry coat with the silver. It's giving K-Idol. Is this like his hip-hop rapping in C Clown reference? And his hair is over his face. Not just like one eye, but like just all over the face. Love the bass. So, okay, color switching. Something's changing. I love its groovy. I like it. I'm so excited for this album. You have no idea. Oh my god. But it's interesting that he's going through that left entrance, not the middle one. I don't know if you actually can, if you can go through that. But it's like right next to where the sound mixing is, which is where people direct and check the different things happening on stage during shows and stuff. But he's looking away from it. He's looking straight to the stage. Okay, so these were my first thoughts on this. Let me know what you think. And I haven't listened to the other song called Burn, which might explain the burning in this video, and then I'll look at the lyrics, and then I guess more things will be clear. But anyway, so that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome, I guess, and stay listening to DPR IAN. Bye!